Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Daniel James, and if you're new here, welcome. Before we begin, I would like to share a story. This story is about an African farmer. One morning, the farmer comes downstairs into his kitchen and grabs his morning cup of coffee. He goes out onto his decking and sits comfortably. He looks out over his farm, and in the distance, he can see beautiful rows of mountains. You can feel the warm African sun on his skin. And if you listen quietly, you can hear the gentle flow of a stream running down the back of the farm. The farmer's happy. He's happy because he's content, and he's content because he's happy. He wants for nothing. He lives in his own version of paradise. Then one day, his friend comes running in and says, "Have you heard about these diamonds everyone's finding?" The farmer hadn't heard anything about diamonds. He didn't really know what they were. But his friend went on to say that these diamonds are worth lots of money. The seed had been planted. Later that night, the farmer thought, and he thought, and he thought. And he ended up selling his farm and going travelling to find diamonds. He went from place to place to place, desperately digging for diamonds, and always falling short. This went on for years, and eventually the farmer became distraught, tired, bankrupt, and he walked to the edge of a river, threw himself in, and he drowned. Meanwhile, the farmer who'd brought this farm was enjoying the beautiful views his predecessor had so longingly enjoyed. One morning, he was walking down the bottom of the farm by the stream, and he saw a massive, weirdly coloured rock. He took a look at it and thought, that will look good on my mantelpiece. So he picks up the rock, takes it into his home, cleans it off a bit, and sticks it on his mantelpiece. A few weeks go by, and the original farmer's friend comes in to check on the farm. He says, "Where did you find that massive diamond?" And the farmer says, "Oh, it's not a diamond, that's just some rock I found at the bottom of the stream." He says, "Oh, no, that is a diamond. And if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the biggest diamonds I've ever seen." And the farmer says, "Well, there's loads of little rocks just like that floated all over the stream." So down they go to the stream, and sure enough, there are hundreds of these shiny rocks scattered all over the stream bed. It turns out the original farmer was sat on the largest diamond mine ever discovered. The problem was he hadn't done his research before he sold the farm and went off exploring. He didn't know what a raw diamond looked like. He's had this image in his head of this shiny thing. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm to get the video out there to help more people that may need to hear this message. If you don't want to miss any future episodes, hit that subscription button. And now back to the episode. And he had no idea that his stream had so many diamonds scattered throughout. There's an important lesson here. The farmer was sat on acres of diamonds. But he got caught up wanting more and more and more. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this story is because you are sat on your own acres of diamonds. The problem is, people plant seeds in our mind that you need more, that you must want better. So we go out chasing the latest car, the latest clothes, watches, getting a higher paid job. We want more, never quite satisfied. And never taking the time to sit back and enjoy what we've actually got. Because if you remember, the farmer was content. He was happy because he was content, and he was content because he was happy. He wanted for nothing. Yet all it took was one person to say something, and he abandoned everything. Rather than just sitting and showing gratitude for what he did have, his attention was turned to what he didn't. Now, if you're a long-term listener, you'll know that I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But I've read a lot of the religious texts, the Quran, Bhagavad Gita, and the Bible. And I'm sure you've heard the story of Adam and Eve from the Bible. So Adam and Eve were the first people, supposedly, on the planet. They wanted for nothing. God put them in the Garden of Eden, and they had everything they could ever want. The only thing they couldn't do was eat from that one forbidden tree. And once again, they were content. They were content because they were happy, and they were happy because they were content. And then one day, the serpent said to Eve, "Why don't you eat from that tree?" And the seed was planted. And in an instant, Eve forgot of all the amazing abundance around her and everything she'd been grateful for, and focused on the one thing she lacked. She ate the fruit from the forbidden tree and lost everything. My question to you is, when you're feeling uncertain, uneasy, are you looking and searching for external things? Are you searching for that forbidden fruit? Are you focusing on the diamonds outside of yourself, rather than turning inwards and just assessing where you're at and what you have? It's been said that gratitude is the precursor to happiness. When I was 16 years old, my football coach took me to South Africa. He was on a massive trip called Balls to Poverty. We went into some of the worst townships in South Africa, and we taught the people in these townships, the kids especially, football. And for every kid that attended one of our workshops, they were given a football. The kids there had nothing. Most of them had bare feet, and they lived in the smallest shacks you can imagine, decorated only by David Beckham posters. They were so happy, and at the time, I couldn't comprehend why. Why were they so happy? They had nothing. It's only as I've gone on my own journey and become older, more mature, that I realised they were just grateful. They weren't focused on the stuff they didn't have. They were focused on all the amazing things they did have. Their life, their health, their friends, a home, a roof over their head, rather than the things that they didn't have. So in closing, stop searching for this happiness outside of yourself. The diamonds that you're searching for are within you. Don't desperately dig for diamonds outside of yourself, because you won't find them. Learn to cultivate that raw diamond that's in you, and always show gratitude for the little things you have in your life, because little by little, little becomes a lot. And when you show appreciation for little things, life becomes so much easier and so much more simple. If you've taken any value from today's episode, don't forget to like and share with a friend. Until next time, take it easy.